Hello, you're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. I'm glad you're here today. I'm so glad you met me here and joined me on this channel, and I'd like to share some things with you today. It's just an average every day in the life for me. I am going to just show you the garden. I know I've just done a front garden tour, but I want to show you how that's changed a little bit and share some thoughts with you, and then I'm going to take you in the back and share that garden a little bit with you. I'm going to go out front first because I'm waiting on my little grandson to get here. The rest of the grandchildren are in school, and he's the only one that's not in school yet, so he comes earlier. And I want to be out there in the front and make sure that I don't miss him as he's coming in. But I'm going to take you right out here and just show you some things in this garden today. I'm excited to show you how a few things have changed and just share a few things with you. And then we'll go on the back and I'll just bring you along. I got a lot to do today. I run errands. Yesterday I went and got groceries, so I went to Sam's, and I wasn't able to share that grocery haul with you because it was just so big, and I went by myself, and so it was an all-day job to get the groceries, get them back here, and get them put where they go. But today I am going to share with you some things I'm going to do around the kitchen, and I thank you for coming and hanging out with me, and I'm going to just begin the garden tour. It's garbage pickup day today, so you may hear the garbage truck in the background. And of course I'm out in a neighborhood, so you're going to hear neighborhood noises. Now there's still plenty that's not done here. Plenty that's not done out here in this garden. Here's these little wayward daisies. I showed them to you before, but Lord, look how they are popping out. They're just blooming everywhere. Now, coming out of the steps, here are the pots where I had the arborvitae in, and they died. The little arborvitae I planted 2 years ago at Christmas, around Christmas time, into these pots. They lived for 2 years and then they died. I think they probably didn't get enough water. So I am going to plant them, and I am trying to consider what I'm going to plant. And I think that I am going to plant coleus. Because my goodness, is there anything prettier than these coleus leaves right here? I mean, I think that would be a big impact to plant coleus. I may have to go pick up a few more, or I might just start them from seed. But I'll just set these little 3 that I picked up at the nursery there, right here, to give you an idea of how pretty that would be. Of course, they'll get much bigger and they'll fill in that space pretty nicely. So I think I've decided to put coleus there because of the beautiful leaves. Now over here is the roses. If you get up close, you can see a little bit of cold burn on them because, you know, it got cold. We had a cold spell. So they're a little darker, a little different than they would normally be had we not had that cold spell. But they still are spectacular, and I am really enjoying them. Thinking they are really beautiful. And they're really pretty. So I'm enjoying these beautiful roses, even if the cold spell got them, bit them back a little bit. Didn't hurt the clematis a bit. The clematis are still spectacular. I do have something munching on my clematis, and I'm not sure what that is. But coming on back up this way, I wanted to show you that the peonies they were budding, and they're starting to look like they're going to be opening soon. And those peonies are spectacular. They're beautiful. Here's a little patch of daisies that are going to start blooming before we know it. And of course these 2 clematis over here that are close together, they are really looking beautiful. They're spreading exactly the way they should be growing. We've got a few wayward ones here. Now back here on this old bed that I've got here that I use as a trellis, you can see here's one that's grown off of that bed. And over here, most of the clematis is here in the back where you don't really see it. But that's okay, because when I do a garden tour, I know it's there. And the clematis that was over here in this corner, I don't even see any blooms on it at all. It doesn't look like it's getting enough sun maybe back here. I don't know if you can even see that there's a little clematis vine here. But it's a little clematis, and it hasn't bloomed. Maybe it'll bloom later. But there are beautiful things popping out. Now this little rose bush, you can see, it was planted at the same time as the other ones. But look how much smaller this rose bush is compared to the ones that's getting the more sun. Where you plant things really makes a difference. How much sun they get. Some things will tolerate some low sun. That's a garbage truck. Over here we've got these beautiful white irises. I think the first time I did the tour there was only one blooming, and now there's 3 blooming. So you can certainly see them. I'm going to walk down here and get the garbage can from the road. Look at that knockout bush. That thing is beautiful. If I had room, I would buy more of these. I would have more knockout roses. But I only have so much space. And in the back, I'm trying to work in a plum tree and a peach tree. And I'm not sure how I'm going to get that worked in, but I am trying to work that in. And I'll just give you a view of it, the side of the house there with those beautiful roses. I'm going to walk down here and get the trash can, and when I walk back, I'll share with you how the view of that house looks from the road. This is the first year we've ever got the red, white, and blue flowers to bloom in sequence so that you have red, white, and blue all at the same time. Times past, this is our trash can. They picked it up, but they bring the trash. Now I'm going to show you the gardens from the road. That beautiful elderberry over there, and that beautiful sage, and then just coming up the drive, look at that beautiful, beautiful red roses, white irises, and blue clematis. Get this trash can back where it goes. So this year, we've got the red, white, and blue in the garden. The red being mainly in the roses that are beside the house. The blue being in the clematis, the Nellie Moser clematis. You can see it in the background there blooming. And the white is mainly in these irises that we've got, but it is looking really pretty. There's another clematis over here that's a big, beautiful clematis, but it's kind of hidden in the shade. It's kind of hidden over here. Now this clematis used to grow up this trellis, but that trellis is getting really old and it's jumped ship. It's jumped over here onto the maple tree, and we're just kind of letting it stay there until we get new trellises. We are looking for some new trellis solutions. Oh, and look at that heart-shaped rock here. Isn't that pretty? Yes, this little maple tree here is beautiful. It's got its little seeds on it, little red seeds, and it makes it prettier. And everything over here in the perennial herb garden is growing like crazy, and that's a good thing. Look at that comfrey plant. That thing is really spread and it's blooming. I think it's beautiful. And I'll be making comfrey salve soon. So the leaves will be just in time for me to harvest them. The new plants we put in are doing fine. That'll look good when they get all grown and bunched together. That beautiful pink rose bush that came back, we're so happy with that. Donald cut that thing back to the ground and it didn't bloom for about 3 years. And finally this year we're getting the blooms back. And he knows now to ask me before he cuts anything back. He's not sure. Some climbers you don't cut back. You leave you leave them there, the vines, and then they come back on the 2-year-old canes. But he wasn't sure about that rose, and he went ahead and cut it back without finding out which one was which. So he learned a lesson there. And of course I shared with you this beautiful sage and shared with you that beautiful elderberry. I mean, it's just as pretty as it can be. And you know we can't walk out here without pulling our weeds for 10 minutes, right? I'm not going to video the whole 10 minutes of me pulling these weeds. But you know, I pull weeds 10 minutes a day whenever I get the opportunity, and it helps keep things under control out here for me. It keeps it from being an overwhelming weedy mess. Now I've got echinacea here, and look at that. There's a bloom going to be here before long. It's a little low growing plant. Here's some that's grown high. Queen Anne's lace is coming up in here that my husband gave me as a gift. I think it was on my birthday. He brought me those Queen Anne's lace, and they're coming back. I love those flowers. It's hard to say if it's my favorite flower, but it is definitely one of my favorites. And look at the sun shining on this beautiful elderberry, lacy elderberry. Here's an echinacea that's really grown up. Quite a few of them in there because it gets this full sun. It's in our garden, so we're going to have a lot of echinacea that's coming back. This garden over here still needs a lot of work. My impingement syndrome has kept me from doing what I would normally have done at this time of the year. But it's okay because it came that cold spell, and anyway, and I may have put some stuff out and it would have just got bit back anyway. Now these are black-eyed seasons right here. They come back really pretty. I love those flowers too. Those are her favorite from childhood. And look at those little tiny Johnny jump ups is what we call these. I got lemon balm here in this garden because I like to come out and harvest it for tea. But that's what's going on out here in the front gardens. That's what we've got going on. Now I can't show you that beautiful peace rose. It's taller than I am. It's up here on the house. That's a climbing rose bush. And it's the peace rose, and it is really beautiful. And I can look out the living room window over the top of that air conditioner and see those beautiful pink yellow roses or cream roses with a pink blush on the outside of them. I can see those from my window. They're beautiful. There's just 2 big roses on them this year. Sometimes they have more. So that's about it. I am trying to decide if I'm going to bring my house plants out of the house outside this year. I think I will bring just a few of them, but not all of them. Because what happens is when I bring those things outside, they grow so much. And then I get used to them not being there and get used to the space. And when I try to find a place for them, when I bring them back in, it presents a dilemma. So I probably will leave most of the house plants in this year and maybe just bring out a few that really need to be outside. You know, I've got a fig tree and a few other things that probably would just benefit from being outside. So I'll probably do that this year. Instead of bringing all my house plants outside, I'll just bring a few I feel like need it the most. This is the view from the porch. Got a lot of things that are blooming, a lot of beautiful, beautiful flowers, roses and irises. And a lot of things to come. All year there'll be something blooming out here in this garden. And then I've got to get these 2 nice pots that's on each side of the steps. I've got to get the coleus planted. I'm not sure if I'll go to that little greenhouse that's not far from here and buy the coleus. That's where I got these little starts. Or if I will plant coleus from seed. Coleus is really easy to grow. It's really easy to grow, so I don't mind starting it from seed if that's what I need to do. Now here are the watermelon. We're going to put those back in the kids' garden. I know watermelon like a lot of sun and a lot of heat. I can probably put plastic over them and get them the heat they need, but I'll have to work with what sun I have back there in the backyard. And here is the flat of tomato plants that we bought. And I'll share with you those variety of tomato plants. Now normally I start all of my tomato plants from seeds myself. I haven't probably bought tomatoes in a long time. But this year's a little different. I have impingement syndrome. I'm a little behind in things. And so I'm having a year of grace where it's okay. I'm allowing myself to go ahead and buy a few things that I wouldn't normally buy and do things a little different just to make it easier on myself. Now here are Brandywine. This is one of the 2 tomatoes that Donald's grandma always grew in her garden, and these are the ones that she loved. She loved Brandywine and Rudigers. So of course I picked up a 4-pack of Brandywines. And here's the mortgage lifter. The mortgage lifter is a personal favorite of mine. There's a story about the man who started this. He started raising these tomatoes and selling them to pay off his mortgage. And he did, in fact, do that. He did sell enough of these tomatoes to pay his mortgage off. So this is a very prolific, indeterminate tomato. And I love this. This is one of my personal favorites. And that's the mortgage lifter. Here is another one that I got. It's a Cherokee Purple. Cannot go wrong with this tomato. Well, Lord, what a beautiful and delicious tomato. I love the flavor of a Cherokee Purple tomato. And here is another mortgage lifter. So evidently I got 2 of those. I'm going to have to clean these up a little bit. Get them ready to go out there in the back garden. Me and David will probably carry these back today. You can see these leaves are starting to yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. Get ready to plant those soon. Donald will have to help me because I'm not sure I can dig the holes deep enough with my arm in this condition. So, and then we have, let's go continue on and look, see what kind of tomatoes we've got. And here are German Johnsons. What a really delicious tomato to slice and put on a sandwich and a can. I love German Johnsons. And here is Rudigers. So Brandywine and Rudigers are the 2 tomatoes that we've always had in our garden because that's the tomatoes that Donald's grandma loved the most. She had a lot of experience gardening. They love tomatoes, and so I really trusted her when it came to this, and I do like these 2 tomatoes. The Rudiger is a cannon tomato, and the Brandywine we usually use for slicing. Here's one that the little fella at the greenhouse talked me into trying. This is a pineapple tomato. Never had anything like it. It's the newbie in my tomato lineup this year, and I'm looking forward to trying it. And then, of course, we've got these little super sweet tomatoes, which we call Tommy Toes. And, of course, these will go in the kids' garden because they love to pick these and feed them to Grandpa. So these go in the kids' garden. There's only 4 of them, but I may start some more and have some more going, and they'll bloom and bear fruit at a different time. So that's the tomato selection I have this year. That's going into the garden. out back here as soon as we can get out here to it. I love all of these tomatoes, but I gotta say my personal favorite is the mortgage lifter. So I'm going to put these right here. We'll be taking those out back as soon as David gets here. And then we'll also take his little watermelons out. He did plant watermelon seeds, and I'll take you out there and show you what's coming up. When he gets here, I'll let him show you. He's so proud of them. But of course, I picked these up because they had a better start than the ones we put in the ground for David. So I'm hoping that these will be in the ground early enough to yield fruit, and for little David to get him a couple of watermelons off of so he can enjoy them. And me and Grampy can pass on the excitement of how to grow your own fruits and vegetables. We're doing that every year and have done that for as long as we've had grandkids, is to share with them the excitement of growing your own produce. That's about it for the front yard. When David gets here, I'll take you out to the back, show you what's going on out there, and let him share some things with you. It is turning out to be an absolutely gorgeous day. It's been really chilly for the last few days. It's been a cold snap that's come through, so this hot, warm sun is a welcome friend to have in our garden, to have outside here today. Here is the Queen Anne's lace come back, and I am always happy to see that come back. They're wildflowers. Donald stopped and got them on a job that he was on. It was nearby. He dug up some and just brought me Queen Anne's lace in mass. We planted those, and that one year we had a beautiful mass of Queen Anne's lace. Of course, I hadn't had that much Queen Anne's lace since that day he did that, but I have had a few beautiful, big, tall Queen Anne's lace plants, and they, of course, have in turn bloomed beautifully every year since he gave me that gift. So I really enjoy that. That's just an awesome thing for me in the garden. Enjoy it every year. Well, this sums it up for what I've got going here, and I'll include the back garden with you to show you some of the things going on there. Okay, David made it here. He's got these fresh watermelons. We're going to go back here. We're going to go out here in this little garden without the gate, and we're going to see where his watermelons growing. Oh my goodness.
What's it, Granny?
I don't know. Do you see where it's growing? He planted them right here between these sticks. We're going to plant these later today.
Where is it? It was a yellow little plant.
Okay, we'll find it, okay? Now you can see there's not a lot of sun at this time of the day right here in this little area where the kids' garden is. So
The tree is blocking
we're
it.
going to try and put these watermelon right here where you can see it gets the most sun in this garden. There's a strip of sun right here. And so we're going to try to put these new plants right there. And then David's got some watermelon coming up right here if a blackbird hasn't snipped it off. We've got a lot of blackbirds back here, and it might have came back here and tasted your watermelon, David. But it's okay, because we can still get some more. We can get them growing, okay? Now there's a lot of weeds in here.
There's two more. Maybe you just got the seed out.
Yeah, well, they do sometimes. The chickens will do that, and the birds. Let's go over here and look at the little baby chickens in the other garden.
Let's see if the chicks are little.
Now, of course, here's our little main garden. We don't have anything in that yet, except these baby chickens.
Chickies.
Oh, we gotta go get them some more food.
Yeah. The old food. The old food.
But they seem to be hanging in there good with the cold weather. You know, the cold snap hasn't hurt them. They're getting used to it. You want to get their little bowl so we can get them some more food?
Yeah. I wanna hold the food.
Okay, you get their food bowl, okay?
I'll get the food bowl. I can reach the food bowl.
Oh, good job. Now we'll go in the house where we got the little chicken feed. I need to bring it out here, but it's too big of a bag for me to be able to.
The old food doesn't look the same as their normal food.
Yeah, they need fresh food, don't they?
Yeah.
We've got the chicken food here in the foyer. I've got to move it and get it put in the back, but right now.
Did you remember? I remembered how you said pour the food in here.
Yes, that is excellent. What a great memory. You're doing it exactly the way it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Those little chicks are so hungry.
This is for money.
Yeah, let's go take it to them. You ready?
Yeah. Yes, I will. Oh, the bunnies are fine.
Yeah.
And they're resting.
Yeah,
And some are awake.
yeah, they like to rest, don't they?
Really?
Okay, Ollie, move so he can move so David can get down. We already petted you. We gotta work.
Yes, we're working.
He just wants to be petted and play all the time. He does not want to work, or he does not want us to work.
Yes. No, Pop. He doesn't want us. He doesn't want us to work.
We've laid some cardboard here to make a path. The way we're going to plant the garden this year, we don't want to compact the soil down. We just want to make a path.
And that's why we're helping the kids.
Oh, okay. Can you get it in there? Can you push it so that the door doesn't hit it? Oh, it's not going to hit it, is it?
No.
Okay.
Hey, Grammy, if I hold a little chick a while, it might be. You said we can hold them when they're growing up.
You can. Ollie, no barking. We can, you can hold the chicks, babe.
Yeah.
Let them eat a little bit, and then you certainly can hold them. Maybe we'll see if we can catch one. They're getting some little feathers on the feet, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see if we can catch one for you to hold. I think they're afraid of Ollie. He's barking at them.
Yeah, because the chicks will be, and they'll just be scared of. The chicks are scared of dogs.
Can you reach? Will they let you reach them?
If I try to catch one, if one come towards me, and the dog barks. Look at the chicken.
Ollie, you'll get attention in a minute. They're growing so fast.
Yeah,
Look how
they
big.
don't feel like they are still little.
Oh,
feel
they're
like they're-
adorable. Look at the little feathers on the feet.
Oh,
They're not going to get very big. They're bantams.
Yeah.
They're just big enough to learn how to feed and water and take care of, right?
Yeah, they're just cute. They're just little cute.
They have really changed since when they were just tiny little fluff balls, hadn't they?
Yeah, now they're.
You putting him back in?
Yeah, because he wants to be back in the cage.
I think he wants to eat. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's gonna eat. Oh, he jumped. The one that when I was holding, he jumped in the cage.
They have weathered the cold pretty good. The little cold snap.
They can eat now because we feed them.
Yeah, we do.
feed shit.
We didn't get the last layer of compost in here like we wanted to, but we still are going to put another layer of compost over this garden.
Yeah.
I've got collards there I'm letting go to seed. Then I've got this big old El Campaign I'm letting grow here. But our plans, of course, are to put the tomato bush plants that are going in this garden, they're going to go down on this side right here. David, what is this right here?
This?
What is it?
It's soil.
Sorrel, that's right.
Yeah, we eat soil.
We do eat sorrel. It's very good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's delicious.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like
Something sour.
yes, like lemon sour.
Yeah, it does. A lot like lemons.
Yeah, but lemons are yellow because these are those.
Well, they have a little yellow bloom. We'll harvest that and take it in and eat it for lunch if you want to. All right, now I have oyster shell calcium that I buy. I bought this at Tractor Supply, and I buy it and I add it to the area where I am going to plant my tomatoes. That gives my tomatoes extra calcium, and it fights blight. When they have the nutrients that they need, they're not struggling. It fights disease, and so I'll be adding that oyster shell calcium down across here, down across this area right here, and we will probably plant the tomatoes in a row. Some of the other stuff we're going to kind of block plant, and I'll show you that as we go. Of course, this is a no-dig, no-till garden. This will be the second year we're raising our little garden in this area in a no-dig, no-till fashion. So we're excited to see what this year brings. We were very happy last year with what we got out of this garden, and the good thing about it all is we just enjoyed coming out here and picking the fresh produce, and we're looking forward to that again. We got quite a yield out of it, and this year we plan on logging everything that comes out of this garden. We're going to log every bit of produce that we get out of this garden and see if we can't just put a poundage amount and a dollar amount on what a little garden this size, which is not very big. We really hadn't measured it. It's really just all that we could fit into our yard here. So it's not a real big garden. But we are going to see what we can grow out of this little garden this year. We're looking forward to that. But I've got to spread this calcium down here where the tomatoes are going to be. Now normally if you were tilling this little garden, you would put this oyster shell calcium down and till it in. But I'm not going to be tilling this in because you know this is a no-till, no-dig garden. So I'm just going to be spreading it here. We will put another load of compost down here before we get everything planted probably. So I've just got a can. I'm spreading this oyster shell calcium around here in my garden. Where the tomatoes will be. And I will be giving some to the chickens too. This little area won't need this whole bag of calcium here. So some of it will go to the chickens. I brought the tomatoes back here. They'll be ready to be planted. I'll have to water them soon. Well, in an attempt to keep this video from being too long, I'm going to go ahead and tell you bye. And I hope you have a wonderful day and get out and enjoy whatever you can out in your yard, in your garden. Well, do whatever you can. Enjoy the sunshine and being outside if you can. I want to thank you for joining me today. And like always, until next time.